Hi everyone, welcome to Border Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, you're not, but one of these blokes is. Yes, that's right, this is me in the brand new German Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the Mauerbrecher. I guess that's the way to pronounce it. Hopefully somebody lets me know how to pronounce it after they've seen this replay / review. Is it really a review? I'd guess to say it's not a review. This is just my observations of how I've been playing it. Just realised I played 14 battles in this thing. This game that you're seeing right now though, this is my very first game in this Tier 8 Premium German Heavy Tank, the Mauerbrecher on Sacred Valley. You can see we're top tier here, 3 Tier 8 tanks on each team. Massive shout out to Ensign Brendunigans, I should say. Ensign Brendunigans from Acres Clan asking where's my bike, and that's because if you have a look on the back of the tank, there's a push bike sitting on that back rack, which I reckon's pretty cool as I move up to where all the business seems to happen on Sacred Valley in the northwest. 3 Tier 8s on each team. On each team, like I said earlier, the Mutant tank on the enemy team, Tiger 2 and the Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger. The Mutant tank also being on the Advent calendar sale, and Ensign in his 110, myself in the Mauerbrecher, and the Rheinmetall Borsig on my team as well. Find myself a Tiger who's lucky enough to penetrate me just there. He looks like he penetrated me maybe through the wheel. I'd find that, or maybe more than one. Maybe more than one tank got me in that little engagement. I have taken a little bit of damage, and it must be said, I've taken 800 damage, 801 hit points of damage. We're winning 2-1. Taken 801 damage, blocked my first shell, and that was, I just wanted to see at the start of the game how much I could sort of take, I guess, and by blocking, to see what the armor's like on this thing, because it certainly looks like it's got pretty good armor, and we'll be comparing after this battle. We'll be comparing the armor in this tank to some other tanks which you might also be considering buying, since it's a premium tank. You can see it's got 128mm gun, 440 alpha damage, 220 penetration with standard rounds, 260 with armor piercing, APCR, which are premium ammunition in this tank. That Tiger 1 Tiger 2 I should say, does get a revenge shot into me, takes me down to 510 hit points. I'm pretty confident I'm going to beat him on the reload, especially with his gun aiming the other way, and he does put a shot into the ground, the poor bugger, and I'll pick up my first kill, making the score 7-1, and it's time to look for some damage on the Mutant tank, the M6A2E1, clearly lining up the turret, shoots, pulls out, and unfortunately I hit the IS. That would have been a guaranteed extra 400 hit points of damage, as far as I reckon anyway. Now, without giving too much away, Ensign Brendunigan from Aquis in the 110, he's going to carry the hell out of this one. He's charging towards the enemy base. You can see the mini-map, the Panther, the SU-100Y, the AMX 1375 IS, all down there in the southwest. And of course, we've decided we're going to get forward there. We're going to push this western flank, sorry, southeast on the other side. We've got to push this western flank and make sure we win this game. 8-3 is the score. 1 kill, 1,769 hit points of damage to stewiejp in the Mauerbrecher. And without giving too much away, that's about all I'm going to get to, because I make a pretty silly mistake not too far. On 510 hit points, Ensign Brendunigan charging like a madman towards the enemy team. Looks like that Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger just fell off that cliff over there, but he must have landed on his feet as the 110 kills the M44. The poor little Tier 6 artillery here would not be too comfortable at all as the FE304 put a shot towards the 110, the Chinese heavy tank. Now, I should have kept going left here and putting these buildings between me and this Rheinmetall Borsig Waffenträger, because he's clearly seen an opportunity to get rid of a low health tank. I put a shot towards him, hoping that I wouldn't need to aim that time, because I thought he was going to be getting ready to shoot, which he was, and he picks himself up a nice little kill. And without giving too much away, Ensign Brendunigan is going to carry the hell out of this one, and stewiejp is going to be lucky to walk away with a fire for effect medal, which is probably all you can expect after that performance. But let's be honest, this is not one of those reviews that you see people getting top score and acing the tank and all that kind of stuff. I just wanted to show one of my early games in it, and just to see what this tank can do. I don't think I was wrong that maybe I couldn't bounce a heap of damage at the start. In fact, I only ended up bouncing 200 odd damage, even though second top score by damage, 1769. Didn't tear the world apart though. 9 shots fired, 6 shells hit, and all 6 of them penetrated. And I think one of those shells that didn't hit would have been the one that went into the IS for 444 hit points. You can see there. That certainly would have affected my score. I only blocked 240 damage. That was one shot early on. I really expected more from being top tier, 3 tier 8s in that game. Did expect a little bit more. Now, of course, like I said, this was my first game. Made 50,300 credits after tax with a premium account. Now, you could be forgiven for saying, well, that's probably not too bad, considering didn't do a great deal. But because it was my first game, I rearranged the ammunition. I put some premium ammunition into the thing. That's why there's no cost for the ammunition. So maybe with the cost of ammunition, but take away the fine, maybe that would have worked out even Stevens. Not too bad for a 4-minute game. Should have done better, but that's just my thoughts on the tank. As we have a look into the garage now, we'll do a quick rundown of the stats of this tank and compare it to a few other premium tanks, which if you're thinking of spending your hard-earned Christmas money on a tank, whether this German one might be the one for you. First, the positives. The crew, it perfectly fits the mouse crew in this tank. So if you're specifically looking for a tank where you can cross-train your crew into your premium tank for your mouse, then this is perfect. You won't find a better tank other than maybe that tier 4 German heavy tank, and I don't know about you, but tier 4s just suck. Tier 9 gun, not a bad gun, 440 damage, 220 penetration though for standard rounds, 260 for APCR rounds. It's a little bit lackluster. Now you can see the equipment I've put on there is vertical stabilizers, vents, and the gun rammer. That's all simply to maximize the amount of damage you do. I'm not going to go through all the crew skills because I'll probably get it wrong. But those 3 pieces of equipment are in the comparison, which we're going to compare now to the other premium tanks that you might be thinking about buying. I've got the tanks that I don't have. They're the equipment I've put in there. So for the purpose of statistics and damage per minute and all that kind of stuff, so it's a fair comparison. They've all got similar crew skills as well as similar equipment. To start with, if you look at the firepower, the alpha damage gun 440. That's the best alpha damage gun for a tier 8 premium, in line with the Defender. Okay, the Defender might be a little bit hard to buy, but it's also a little bit better than the T34, which comes in second. Penetration though is on the low side. In fact, it's the lowest penetration of all of these tier 8 premium heavy tanks with 220. The best is a T34 with 248 penetration, with similar alpha, a little bit less alpha, but that's for standard rounds. Now the 248 damage, if we go back to the garage, the where is it? It's 260 for premium in the Mauerbrecher. So you might find even that's only 12 millimeters more penetration the T34 gets with standard rounds, even though the T34 does get a tier 10 gun though. So penetration, that might be a downside compared to the upside of the alpha damage. Damage per minute and rate of fire. The damage per minute isn't too bad, 2,132. It's better than the T34 at just under 2,000. It's better than the AMX M449. It's exactly the same as the Defender. The Defender is described as an overpowered tank, so maybe is that an excuse to say that this tank's overpowered as well? I don't think so, but the T26E5P, the Patriot tank's on over 2,423. That's with its little 90mm gun, so that's with a gun that's going to be chipping away at the enemy. Now the aim time and all that kind of stuff, the aiming time, I found it was pretty good. Maybe that's down to the good crew I had in it. Not too bad. Another positive is its hit points. 1,700 hit points. That's the most hit points of any of those tier 8 premium tanks. The only one that comes close is a low at 1,650, and the rest are all 1,500 hit points. So, but you're going to need them. You saw I didn't block that many. In the games I continued to play with it, and I played about 15 games in this tank, I did seem to bounce more than just the one shot you saw in that one, and that was obviously across tier 8, 9 and 10 battles. The armor looks okay. Hull armor 180, which is second best after the AMX M449, which is a tank that I love to bounce shots all day long in. The sides of the hull, 130, isn't too bad as well, so you're probably going to pull off a few bouncy shots. The turret's pretty good as well. The T34, which is known for its awesome turret at 279 millimeters at the front, 230 for the Mauerbrecher, so it's a little bit less than that. The AMX and the Defender beat that one again, but it does beat the Low and the Patriot. Mobility, we could see it was pretty. You could see it was pretty slow. It has got pretty good engine power, 1600 horsepower, but it's as heavy as anything. It's 168 or 175 tons, which is a full 100 ton more than anybody else, apart from the Low, which is sitting on 90. The rest are 50 to 75, so that's why it might look like it's got awesome engine power, but because it's so heavy, it is pretty. It does affect the top speed. Top speed is 20, and everything else is miles ahead of it. In fact, the Patriot's double that at 40, as is the AMX M449. Didn't feel ridiculously slow like a TOG might, but it was certainly struggling. You wouldn't want to be crossing any open fields in this tank. Concealment, who cares? It is a heavy tank. You shouldn't be camping bushes anyway. Pretty good spotting range too. That's another thing where it gets a tick. But spotting range, generally in a heavy tank, you're going to be up the front anyway. So there you have it. That's just my observations on the brand new Tier 8 Premium German heavy tank. Will I get one? I'm undecided, leaning towards no myself, mainly because I've got a hell of a lot of other Tier 8 Premium tanks that I enjoy playing, and I'm just not sure if I am really enjoying it. For those that like statistics, overall I'm an average player, I guess, and I guess average is probably being a little bit generous. I played 14 games, I won 57% of them. So I don't know if that's too much of a small dose to say that it's a good tank. I didn't feel like a tank where a noob like me could win 57% of the games in it. You can see armor use efficiency 0.7. I think that means that 0.7. So if I've got 1700 hit points, 0.7, maybe average blocked 13 or 1400 damage. I guess that's what it means. Oh, there it is. Average damage blocked by armor is over 900 hit points. Not too bad. So it does bounce shots, but from feedback I've got from other community contributors, it doesn't bounce shots all day long like you might expect. Anyway, I guess it has turned into a little bit of a tank review. This is the Ein Berlin, the VK1601, the Mauerbrecher, the Tier 8 Premium German tank. The tank that I seem to win too many more games than I probably should have over the past week where I've been testing it. I might test it again tonight and see how we go. Other than that, thanks very much for watching. Take care and see you all next time.